In this video, we shall be investigating Kemi Badenoch, an individual who has constantly called out the corruption embedded in the Nigerian political system and affairs. In this same video, you get to see and understand every little info and details about this woman that I'm pretty sure you've never seen or heard before. So, who is Kemi Badenoch? Well, based out of a publication released by the Associated Press, it states, Kemi Badenoch is the first black woman to lead a major UK political party. She is an upbeat and outspoken libertarian who thinks the British state is broken and needs fixing as soon as possible. As you can see, this woman has a strong mentality of her own. She's fearless, she's strong, and she's very, very ambitious. At some point, she came out to publicly call out Nigerian politicians, categorically calling all of them corrupt and being selfish. That comment alone triggered a lot of politicians, particularly the vice president of the nation in the person of Kashim Shettima, where he came out to publicly address the comments made by Kemi Badenoch. Well, with all of that being said, let's begin our investigation. Let's start with her original name. She's named Olukemi Olufunto Adegoke. She was born on the 2nd of January 1980 in Wimbledon, London to be precise. When her mom was pregnant, she traveled from Nigeria down to the UK so as to give birth to Kemi in England. The plan was very simple and precise. She wanted her daughter to have a British citizenship from birth. Showing right now on your screen is the exact location and the exact hospital where Kemi was born. She was born in St. Teresa's Private Hospital, domiciled in UK. After her birth, something very, very interesting happened in England. The British government noticed that a lot of foreigners trooped into the country, gave birth to their kids so as to get a British citizenship and then leave. The government of the country sat together and strategized means and methods to stop that game and method of citizenship by birth. And that is how they drafted the British Nationality Act of 1981 that abolished automatic birthright citizenship for those born in the United Kingdom. Interestingly, after Kemi was born, the mom brought her back to Nigeria so as to live in Nigeria, understand the culture of Nigeria, and get first-hand knowledge about the country of her origin. It is worthy to note that Kemi's dad founded a publishing company in Nigeria and became an activist for the rights for the Yoruba people. And it will surprise you to note that Kemi Badenoch is related to the former vice president of Nigeria in the person of Yemi Osinbajo. Yes, Kemi is the first cousin to Yemi Osinbajo. Moving on swiftly, Kemi Badenoch spent her childhood growing up in both Lagos, Nigeria and in the USA. Yes, her mom was a lecturer who lectured in a university domiciled in the USA. So at some point, she traveled from Lagos to the US to meet her mom, spent some time with her, and traveled down to Nigeria to stay with the dad. When Kemi clocked 16 years old, she came up with an idea that sent shivers and fears into the hearts and minds of her parents. What did she do? Well, she brought up an idea to her parents that she wanted to leave Nigeria, leave Lagos, Nigeria, and travel to the UK and stay with a family member. And when her parents asked her for the reasons why she wants to migrate, she claimed that Nigeria isn't a suitable place for her, claiming that the political system and political affairs was on a steady and rapid decline. Interestingly, she returned to the UK at the age of 16 to live with a friend of her mother's. While in the UK, Kemi Badenoch had to juggle between school and working. Yes, she worked at McDonald's. She saved enough money and she furthered her education. She studied computer system engineering at the University of Sussex. Showing right now on your screen is a Google Earth image and videos of this particular university where Kemi Badenoch studied after saving up cash from working at McDonald's, domiciled in the UK. Fast forward to 2012, Kemi fell in love with a man known as Hanish Badenoch. They got married in that same year, 2012. At this point, the mindset and the mentality of Kemi changed drastically. She noticed that she has to be in the political system of the country so as to change a lot of things. She noticed a lot of loopholes in both Africa and in the Western world. She subsequently joined a political party domiciled in the country. Luckily enough, she was elected to the London Assembly in 2015 and to the Parliament in 2017. She held series of government posts. Interestingly, everything was going on smoothly for her. She has achieved most of her goals and ambitions in life. She was married and with kids already. But then in 2022, something very, very fascinating happened. Yes, During the administration of Prime Minister Boris Johnson, a series of scandals emanated during his administration, which led to the mass ministerial exodus in July of 2022, where a lot of ministers were removed and replaced immediately, based out of this ethics scandal that happened during the administration of Boris Johnson. Unfortunately, Kemi Badenoch was part of this mass exodus. Yes, she was removed from office and from post in July of 2022. She was one way or the other linked with the scandals that happened during that administration, and she had to leave and vacate her post. And if you know Kemi very well, you know that she is highly ambitious and she knows what she wants. After she was sacked from office, she did not even stop there. In September of 2022, when Liz Truss became the Prime Minister of the country, Liz Truss appointed Kemi Badenoch to her cabinet as Secretary of State for International Trade. But then, Liz Truss resigned from office and Kemi Badenoch became more popular in her own circle. She began to gain and attract momentum. She was widely known in the UK and a lot of individuals believed strongly in her. And that is when she used her influence to campaign and to gain momentum for an individual known as Rishi Sunak. Yes, just in case you don't know, Kemi Badenoch endorsed Rishi Sunak. She heavily campaigned for this individual because she believed that he is the serious and honest leader that the country actually needs. Yes, we all know how politics work. If you scratch my back, I will definitely scratch your back. If you do a favor for me, I will definitely do a favor for you. And that is what happened when Rishi Sunak became the Prime Minister of the UK. Yes, Rishi Sunak knew that Kemi Badenoch stood behind him solidly. He knew that this lady campaigned for him in all ramifications and justifications, and that is why on the 25th of October 2022, Kemi was retained as the Secretary of State for International Trade by Rishi Sunak upon becoming Prime Minister. She was also granted the additional role of Minister for Women and Equalities. Well, this is a very, very interesting one. The following year, during the cabinet reshuffle, Badenoch was appointed as the first Secretary of State at the newly created Department of Business and Trade. As you can see, Rishi Sunak, being a Prime Minister, had to create a new department for this woman. Yes, he created a department known as Department for Business and Trade, and he placed Kemi to oversee this particular department. Very, very interesting. As you can see, she knows what she wants and she tries to get it by all means necessary. And that is why we shouldn't be too surprised if she constantly calls out Nigeria and the Nigerian politicians. Yes, it's very, very possible that she's doing it to launder her own image and probably boost her chances in securing a nice political office in the UK. Yes, or she might be doing it to probably change the mentality of Nigerian politicians. But nobody knows for sure. But definitely we'll get to know in the coming days and time. But now let me show you some secrets of this lady. Something she doesn't want anyone to find out. Something she doesn't want anybody to say to her at this point in time. Yes, in July of this year, the Guardian newspaper reported that at least 3 individuals and workers that had stayed and worked under Badenoch had experienced bullying in the Department of Business and Trade. In their own words, they stated that she created an intimidating atmosphere while she was in charge. They claimed that Kemi was very, very vocal, and at some point she was even bullying her workers. Others claimed that they were constantly being humiliated and occasionally left in tears after working with her. For a fact, one can't tell if all of these assertions were true, because at some point Badenoch came out to deny all of these claims, describing them as smears from the former staff and accusing them of covering up their own failures and general gross incompetence. Well, this lady has a lot of controversies attached to her name, and it's something we can't cover in just one video. At some point, something happened in the UK that Badenoch couldn't call as false or term it as a lie. We're showing right now on your screen is a statement. It claims critics say Badenoch has clashed with colleagues and civil servants and has a tendency to make rash statements and provoke unnecessary fights. During the leadership campaign, she drew criticism for saying that not all cultures are equally valid and for suggesting that maternity pay was excessive, though she later backtracked on that claim. As you can see, this woman has the tendency of saying a lot of things and she can be very, very rash in her point of view. And that is why she doesn't pity Nigerian politicians and Nigerians as a whole. And that is why she's very, very ambitious. And that is why she knows what she wants. She has a mentality and mindset of her own. Well, we have a lot of things to say about her that we can't cover in just one video. In our next video, we'll release a lot of expose. So if you want to be among the first individuals to see and watch the video, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. But then in our previous video, we exposed the properties and businesses owned by Afe Babalola. If you want to watch that video and get full clarity for yourself, we have that video showing right now on your screen. So click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.